Hey guys, it's Carolyn again, and this is my second part of my two-part rereading videos, and these are going to be the books that I really want to reread, but just haven't gotten around to it yet, or books that I have reread in the past and really just want to reread again soon. So, yeah. Here we go. Okay, so one that I actually showed in the last video is Phantom of the Opera by Gaston Leroux. This is in my top favorite books of all time. I love it. It's one of my favorite stories of all time. It's classic and beautiful, and the writing is gorgeous. And I mean, it's just such a cute little edition. I love it. It's pocket size. I can take it in my purse. So, yeah, I really need to reread this soon. As well as, I really need to reread Phantom by Susan Kay really soon, because this is my favorite piece of published fan fiction ever. Because honestly, it's the only good piece of published fan fiction that I have ever read. It is brilliant. I really wish that, Gaston Leroux and Susan Kay had been around during the same time period, so that, like, mostly so that Gaston Leroux could know what a great job Susan Kay did with taking his characters and, writing a prequel, because it's awesome. It's so good. But as you can tell, I really need a new edition. This version is so gross and old. But I love it because I love it folds out on the inside, and oh my gosh, pictures. It's so cool. Alright. Anyway, done fangirling for the moment. The Book Thief by Marcus Zuzak. I loved this book when I had to read it for class. And, I mean, I could reread this in a day, so this needs to be done soon. The Guardian by Nicholas Sparks. I read this and really enjoyed it. It's really creepy. I read this a couple summers ago, and it's kind of has the same feel a little bit as Safe Haven. So, yeah. And a couple that I'm actually going to be rereading later on this year I forgot to bring them down because they were in my to be read for the year box, are The Lucky One by Nicholas Sparks, because that is my favorite book of his, and also The Other Boleyn Girl by Philippa Gregory. Yes, love those. P.S. I Love You by Cecilia Ahern, as well as, where is it? Haha, here we go. As well as If You Could See Me Now by Cecilia Ahern. These are my two favorite books of hers, and I really just need to give them a reread soon. Some childhood favorites that I just adored, and one of them actually isn't in this pile because I couldn't find it. Poppy by Avi. I don't know how to say this author's name ever, but I bought this and read it for school when I was in like 4th grade, and it's really creepy but really good. And Maniac Magee by Jerry Spinelli. This was one of my favorite books in elementary school, but I have never reread it because I actually only acquired my own copy of it a couple months ago. So I really need to reread this. Okay. I'm just going by whatever I see next. The Queen's Fool by Philippa Gregory. This is very, very good. I don't know what else to say about her stuff. She is one of my favorite historical fiction writers. But ironically enough, one of the books that I've read by her is one of the worst books that I've ever read, and it's Whiteacre, or Whitaker, I don't know how you say that, Whitaker, by her, and it's a trilogy, but it's just got some really, really interesting issues in it, and I think I finished it, but afterwards I was like, I am not reading books 2 and 3, because that's just messed up. But yeah, Queen's Fool is excellent, and it's set during, I think it's both Mary Tudor and Queen Elizabeth I's. It's set during both of their reigns. So yeah. My Sister's Keeper by Jodi Picoult. This is one of my favorite books I've ever read, but I've only read it once. I read it the same summer that I read Time Traveler's Wife, and reading both of those books in the same summer was intense. I think all the books that I read for the rest of that summer were just incredibly light, because those two were like my fill of really intense issues. So yeah. Safe Haven by Nicholas Sparks. I know, I just read this a couple months ago, but I loved it so much that I really want to reread it. Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants by Anne Brashares. I've read this one and the second one, but I want to reread those two so that I can go all the way through the series, and I was going to do that this summer, but I have a lot of library books out, so I'm probably going to wait till next summer to do that. So I'm showing you guys these a little bit early. But then I don't know when I'm going to reread, like, any of these, but I'm just hoping to reread them soon. Perks of Being a Wallflower by Stephen Chbosky. I read this for the first time last summer before the film came out, and it was amazing. It was one of those books where I just sat thinking about it after I read it. When I wasn't reading it, and then after I finished reading it, I just thought about it so much because it was so good. The Kildee House by Rutherford Montgomery. This was the book that made me love reading. I know that I've probably told you guys this once or twice before, but I love it, and it's such a really, it's a comforting read. Like, it's one of those reads where when it's raining outside, you just want to curl up in a chair with this book and a blanket and a cup of tea or something. It's just very, very comforting. Great world to get sucked into. Timeline by Michael Crichton. This is one of my favorite books. It's just really amazing. It's so much better than the movie. I love the movie, I'm not gonna lie. I really do. But the book is so much better. Because they got a lot of stuff in the movie wrong. Especially to do with my favorite character, who is Andre Merrick. They got him wrong in the film. I mean, Gerard Butler, one of my favorite people ever. Not gonna lie. Or one of my favorite actors ever. But whoever wrote the screenplay for that, or whoever decided, like, how he was gonna dress and all that, just wasn't close enough with the book, but that's okay. And then they messed up major events. But anyway, this book is awesome. And it's historical fiction. Next, how am I doing on time? 9 minutes. Okay, I gotta be quick. I'm sorry, you guys. I had to see how much time I had left. Prayer for Owen Meany by John Irving. I had to read this in 11th grade. Sorry, you guys. I had to read this in 11th grade. We got to pick between 6 books, and I picked this one. And I thought I was going to be bored with it or not really enjoy it. But I thought it was like the least of the 6 evils or something. And I love it. It's got a lot of adult issues in it, again. But it was so good. And this is, I think I told you guys this when I showed this in a book haul, but this is the book that the movie Simon Birch is based on. So if you guys have seen Simon Birch and you really enjoyed it, read this book. Okay, two that I really need to reread soon are The Da Vinci Code and and reread parts of it because there were parts I just didn't get. Angels and Demons, I read in like 2 days. And I liked it better just because it did take me as long to get through. And it's a bigger book, I think. Yeah, it's like way bigger, and it took me less time. But, I love both of these books, so, yeah. Bridge to Terabithia by Catherine Patterson. This book changed my life. Excuse me. It changed the way I thought about my life, which is so interesting. It's just, oh, it's so good. I read it in 6th grade. I recommend this book to everyone. Next, we have Name of the Star by Maureen Johnson. I love this book. It's one of my favorite books that she's written, and I really need to reread it. Well, I'm lending it to a friend. This is in the sequel. I'm actually lending to a friend soon, but as soon as he's finished with them, I need to reread them. To Kill a Mockingbird by Harper Lee. I'm ashamed to say I've only read this book once. In 8th grade when we were assigned it, and I really, really did love it, but I just have never... Rereading classics is really hard for me, which is stupid. Well, okay, except for Jane Austen. But yeah, I really need to reread this soon. Ender's Game by Orson Scott Card. I will probably reread this twice in the near future because I need to reread it before the movie comes out in November. And then as soon as I collect the rest of the books in the Enders series, I would also like to reread it then. So, I Am the Cheese and The Chocolate War, both by Robert Cormier, are two of my favorite books that I have ever been assigned in school. This I was assigned in 9th grade, this I was assigned in college, and they are both excellent, and this one messes with your mind, but it is a good mess with your mind book. It's a good mind thriller, I guess. Okay, checking up on time again. Alright, we're good. Next is How I Live Now by Meg Rossoff. Again, it has some issues in it that are kind of, you don't see every day. Like, I think a pair of cousins, like, fall in love with each other. So that's a little weird. It's a little out there. But, it's a very, very good book. It reminded me a little bit of Chronicles of Narnia, because it's set during World War II time, and an American goes to England to stay with her cousins. And it's just very good, and this is actually being turned into a film with, Saoirse Ronan, and she's one of my favorite actresses, so I need to reread that before the film comes out. I need to reread Beautiful Creatures, but actually, I just recently acquired Beautiful Darkness and Beautiful Chaos, so I may actually not need to reread this before I dive into those, because I originally didn't think I was going to get those till next year, so we'll see about this one, maybe, but I would love to reread it later, even if I don't reread it now. Next is Wicked. This actually has Wicked and Son of a Witch, but I haven't read Son of a Witch yet. But I need to reread Wicked in order to read Son of a Witch, A Lion Among Men, and then check out Out of Oz from the library or something. One of my favorite authors in high school was Eva Ibbotson because she writes really good teen historical fiction. And I want to reread all of hers that I have, which is The Morning Gift, A Company of Swans, A Countess Below Stairs, The Reluctant Heiress, and A Song for Summer. So I would love to reread those soon. And then, last but not least on the rereads is all of Austin. So, wait, where's my little... I don't know where those went. Oh, here we go. Sorry about that. Okay, so I want to reread all of Austin in like a month or something, like maybe a month next year. And so that would be Sense and Sensibility, Northanger Abbey, Mansfield Park, which is my least favorite Austen ever, but I've only read it once for a class, so I really want to give it a second chance. Persuasion, Emma, which I love, and Pride and Prejudice, which I also love. So yeah, those are the books that I really, really would like to reread soon. What I'll probably do is space it out where I reread maybe 5 or 10 of these every year until I'm finished rereading these and want to start rereading others. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. If you have any questions or comments, shoot me a comment down below. And if you want to know any more synopsises or synopses, please let me know. And don't forget to subscribe. Thanks, guys. Bye.